welcome back. Yes, got some wrestling figures. Let me get over here a minute. Oh my God, I didn't pull the thing over here close enough so I could show you the figures. A few months back, I went to antique store and I saw some thumb wrestlers. And I saw Junkyard Dog and I saw this other one. I knew I had Junkyard Dog. I thought I had the other one, the classic ones from like the 80s. But I got home and found out I didn't have him. And for $2, I was like, damn, I should have picked him up. So months later, we're down there going some places, and it's just about 30-40 minutes away. We go there, and I found him for $2. Big John stud right here, the old thumb wrestler, one I didn't have. I look up top, I got him, I've got Junkyard Dog, Hulk Hogan, Hillbilly Jim, Iron Sheik, and a Roddy Piper. And I have a knockoff of the Iron Sheik, another one that's really jacked up. But he's a little paint worn on his knee, but it's cool to have. And for $2, I grabbed him. I haven't paid too much for these guys anyway. I think the Hillbilly Jim I found at a flea market one time in a box for like $0.25. So that one was pretty cool. So I went back to get him, and I found somebody else there that was selling wrestlers. And they had a lot of Jakks Pacific stuff, and I've thought about getting into that myself, but I haven't. But they had some WCW ones made by original San Francisco toy maker, which I have started collecting. And a few months ago I got Flair, Hogan, and who else? Sting. And I already had Harlem Heat, so knocked out a few right away. And they're made like LJNs, if you don't know. They're back in the, what year was these things? Let me put my glasses on. I ain't prepared, because this one's on the card, and I didn't pay that much for it at all. 1994, hell, they're older than what I thought. So there's the back of it. As you can see, it's the Giant, and I paid $8. There's some more. I'm going to take him off the card, but I'm going to keep the card, because look how jacked up this card is. From I thought this was like 98. Wow, this is 31 years old now. Ain't it? Yeah, it's hard for me to say that the 90s. When I would talk about 30 years ago, it was the 70s. Now it's the 90s. Anyway, I'm going to keep the card, but I got to open him up to go with the rest. I don't keep none of these on cards, so after 31 years, we're going to let this sucker breathe, baby. We're going to let him breathe. Oh, boy. He is minty. Well, he's got to be. He's still in the pack, man. Right there he is, the Giant. Even though it doesn't really look like the Giant. Later on he grew facial hair and stuff. And these are pretty cheap to begin with, but where he's been sitting in there, he does have a little black mark right there. But no kids played with him. So, yeah, $8. They had Alex Wright, too. I probably should have bought him, too. But I'm not for sure if I'm going to buy every single one of these or not. I just want certain ones, maybe. Maybe. I say that, and then I end up buying them all. But, there's 2 or 3 of him. And there was 2 of these down there, too. So, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I go back down there in a few more months. They're still there. Maybe I'll pick them up. But I'm going to keep this card for sure, because oh, it's on my head. I was looking for my damn glasses. So I already got the top 3 up here on, I got Hogan, Sting, Flair. You got the Big Boss Man, where he's Big Bubba Rogers there. You got Craig Pittman. You got Alex Wright, the one I talked about. They got Macho Man, there's the Giant. Down here you got tag teams, the Blue Bloods, Nasty Boys, Harlem Heat, and Hogan and Macho Man together. Now they made a few more, I believe. I'm not for sure exactly all who they made. But this is Series 3, and I let it breathe, baby. I couldn't help it. But I am going to keep the card. But he is free after 31 years. And the other day I went to a place called Retro Reset and they had some retros that I needed, and I didn't even know they made. I thought they made one of them, but I wasn't for sure they made the other one. But they had both of them there, and I was like, sweet, because you don't see these guys anymore, and I don't think they're making the retros anymore. So here recently I did pick up Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I don't have the LJNs of these guys, but I would love to. They're kind of pricey, but I got the retros right here. Yeah, you got Jim Neidhart and you got Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation. We're gonna open these up and let them breathe, baby. And on the back you got Jimmy Hart, Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart, Nikolai Volkov. Why did they put him in with them? I don't know, but might as well keep my damn glasses on for these. Didn't even know they made Jim Neidhart. He's got this move here like Kurt Angle, and I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't know. It says Anvil on the back. You know, they did make these in Hasbro back in the day, the Hasbro line, but they didn't make him in this gear, because at that time I think him and Bret Hart done went solo and everything. Man, I barely touched this one and it popped open, and they had to make him in different gear. Now this one's cool because his glasses will not come off, because a lot of the times, it says Hitman right there, a lot of the times, well, most of the time, I ain't never seen a Bret Hart that they've made that looked good, that actually looked like Bret Hart. This one's not too bad, I guess, because you get to keep the glasses on. You take the glasses off, I don't know what it is, they just can't make his eyes and stuff. But it was cool to find these guys down there and add to my Hasbro / retro collection, because they didn't make them back in the day like this. Well, they made Bret. He looked kind of stupid. I didn't like that one. I like this one better than the OG. And the head, I don't know what the deal was with his head back in the day. But Jim Neidhart with his mouth open up, Bret Hart. The Hart Foundation, baby. Now I just need Jimmy Hart. And I think they make Jimmy Hart. Didn't I say they did? Yeah, on the back, they got Jimmy Hart right there. So that's pretty cool. Jimmy Hart. So I got to get him next. So not a real big figure haul wrestling wise, but I did find some old thumb wrestler, Big John Studd, and Let This Sucker Breathe right here, the WCW guy and the Giant. And now these two dudes, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, the Hart Foundation. This is MovieJohn, and I'm always hunting wrestling figures.